A very warm good evening, everyone. I'm Shivalika Chaturvedi from Arch College of Design and Business, and I'm pursuing fashion and design from Arch. I'm here to continue the Campus to Company series, and today we are going to talk to one of our esteemed alumni from Arch College of Design and Business, Mr. Chinmay and Mr. Deeptashree. Campus to Company series has been introduced to intimate people, about intimate students in the design field, about how their learnings in a school, in a design school, can be applied and is further used in the company, how they've been learned, how their skills have been polished, and how they are now putting their efforts and bringing out good for the design industry and working for the design industry apart from just the schools.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm very good. It's very nice to see you here. How has things been lately?
How's things? यार अभी तो कोरोना cases बढ़ रहा है, so projects are getting hold, and I think it's quite good.
It's
Nothing
quite
like
good, exactly. You look at the digital and the phygital world with the introduction of metaverse and with the introduction of NFTs, graphic designers and design communicators, they're having things at their hand, multiple things to learn and to manifest as well.
true. When it comes to photography and films, it's a kind of a major medium. So
Right.
I think it's good to collaborate with different artists and learn from them. I think yeah, it's a wonderful experience overall here. So yeah.
All right, tell me more about yourself and how you've grown, what your journey as a designer has been. And I got to know that you've worked in the Aerosmith company as well as an engineering trainee. And also now you're working as an assistant photographer,
Yeah,
right?
so basically, I'm an engineer. Right now, I'm working as a assistant director and assistant photographer. So basically, I'm working with a startup company where our founders are one person is a director and another one is a photographer. So from my, if you want to talk about my journey from mechanical to design, it's a wonderful journey. I think so. When I'm shifting from engineering to design, I joined Arts College. That was kind of my first platform. I can say where I learned learned from scratch. Like
Right.
I even don't know how to draw. So if you say something, draw me something like this or anything, I even don't know how to draw that. So
Right.
basically, I'm an engineer. I'm more towards technical things and management thing, that kind of a thing. But when it comes to design, it's all about creativity and creating new ideas, executing those ideas, and it's quite wonderful journey. When I started with Arch, uh, it's I joined design communication. Basically, when it comes to design communication, it's all about it's all about you can create your own ideas and you can use different mediums to execute those ideas. I don't have had any restrictions over there, like you have to learn these things, yeah, particular things. I got opportunity to explore all kind of mediums. If I say kind of a mediums, I even learned some basics of graphics, some basics of jewelry, some basics of fashion, everything. When it comes to photo, my intention was when I joined Arch, I wanted to be a photographer or visual storytelling always excited me more. So I was thinking more towards directing thing. Everything in arts, like they gave me a wonderful opportunity to explore in different fields. So Archana ma'am told me that if you're joining here, you have to explore all the opportunities you get here. So when I joined Arch, it's kind of I don't have any restrictions. Kind of you have to do those things, particular things. Yeah, I don't have had a particular kind of curriculum, I could say. So I get the opportunity to, the best thing in Arch is like, you have good staff over there. Like, I wanted to learn photography and everything. Manjit sir came to me and he was like,
Right.
he's ready to teach me anything. Like,
Right.
he's the main major person who, who created more interest towards photography and film. I could say he's a wonderful person and he's my mentor.
Right.
If I have any basics about photography and films, he's the one who supported me a lot and who taught me each and every process.
Okay.
So yeah, Arch is a wonderful place where where you will get a lot of opportunities. It's up to you, like how you use those kind of opportunities.
Thank you, Chinmay. Thank you so much. Diptashree would like to know your thoughts about design, how your journey from Arch, how your journey as an interior designer has kept evolving from Arch into the industry and so on.
For me, it was always about conceptualizing spaces and not take it as like an interior design is not very, you bracket it down under inverted commas. I never believed in that, and I explored a lot of things when I came out of it. I started with a furniture company who used to export in Jaipur. Then I went into interior styling, which is very different than the typical interior design and building and everything. So that kind of gave me that eye and knack for a lot of this detail and how to curate spaces rather than just build something out of nowhere. So then I met my friend who was also working on furnitures, and the idea was to, curate spaces in a certain way, in a more laid back, meditative, simplistic way, and rather than not filling it up with a lot of things. And that's how Woodlab. He was already working for Woodlab, like he founded it, and I kind of joined along, and then we
Okay.
got married. So yeah, but then the idea is always, that spaces need, you don't need to design spaces in particular, it
Okay.
needs to be more relaxed, it needs to be more curated, it needs to be something where the client can express themselves. It needs to be more like a platform that you create, and then your clients or their life experience to kind of fill in. So for Wood Labs, and we're also launched with Wood Labs objects. So the idea is always to be really quiet and very muted, and
Okay.
help the client to sort of express themselves. So that's the basic idea, and that's where we or I come as a mediator, more like. So that's it.
Right, that's very nice to hear. Now you're mentioning the clients and how you're being the mediator. So this thing it pops up into my head that what if I am working for a client, I'm going to look for somebody who is wanting a certain product which fulfills the natural, it's naturally inclined, and I've been given a good time window against it, plus I'm getting a good pay. So I have my own particularities while I am accepting a project. What would Chinmay, let's start with him, what would
Yeah.
you think about, and what are your your take ups and your particularities about a project that you're taking up? What is the process? How are you viewing a client? How are you viewing the process? What is it about?
What is it all about? So basically, we work for advertising, films, and photography. When it comes to advertising, films, and photography, basically, design and concept comes from advertising agencies, and we execute those ideas. So when it comes to film, it's a big process, and photography is both are very different fields. So let me take one particular thing. Let's take talk about photography. So if photography, we basically I feel like these days advertising is everything. So when you see online platforms, yeah, YouTube, anything, any online medias, it's all about ads and advertising, digital ads. So basically, when we get a concept, we basically work on how we can execute those ideas, and what creatively we can add into those pictures, yeah, that visualizations.
Okay.
So and yeah, matlab, that's a major process of assistant photographer. If you want to talk particularly about my role,
Okay.
so yeah,
Yes,
matlab,
please go ahead.
we'll basically get concepts from advertising agencies where creative director, art directors who plan and concept those ideas, and we comes for production process where we visually execute those ideas.
Okay.
Um, what particularly you want to know? So if you
So I
have any
think
particular questions, I
you're
can.
coming to
Yeah.
the point. You have the point. What's the process like that you're going to create a concept in your head, then you're going to, um, you know, advise them with what other creative, how you could be of a creative help to the concept that they've introduced. So that way is you work as an assistant designer and then you pick up a project. Let's say you're working for a politically motivated firm, so then you'd either pick be some other political party or some A party or some B party. So that way is. We'll now jump to Deeptashree. How do you pick your projects? What projects do you look for? I mean, which one would be the one, like if somebody comes to you with that project, you'll grab it, and if somebody else comes to you with some other project, that would be like the worst project you would not want to do that way.
See, in the design fraternity or the area, I
Okay.
believe a lot of the clients kind of lack the education bit of it, the aesthetic education bit of it, because in India we don't really celebrate design and spaces that much celebrated, in the other countries. And we come from a very strong philosophy, a philosophy where the pieces needs to be made like how it was made 2 3 generations back. Like I'm sure you will must have inherited certain pieces from your grandparents, and it lasted for such a long time because it was made in a certain way. It was made with love, with a lot of time. It was made slowly, and that's okay. You don't need to fill up your entire house in one go, and it was slowly made. So we come from a very from that angle of it. And what we say our clients is, when they come to us, everyone have their own view, everything is okay, that's fine. But what we say is, we work with certain aesthetic. It's a slow made thing, it's not a mass production. We curate designs for you, and we made it in a certain way with certain aesthetic. It's not a nail joint based thing, so it's all wood joinery based and all of that. And if you agree to that, and that comes at a certain price, like it's not a very pocket friendly, so to say. Now the bracket of pocket friendly also depends from people to
Right.
people. But
Right.
and then certain clients agree to that, that okay, I really want pieces which will last me at least 50 to 60 years, at least 2 generations, and I'm okay with that kind of an aesthetic.
Hmm.
And there are clients who are like, I'm gonna get bored. I don't want my pieces to last that long. I'm happy in 5 years. I don't want to spend that much. So that's okay. But as people from the design background, I think we always have to educate. I'm sure that's the case with you also. Like, you need to educate your clients. They have a certain brief, and of course we're there to absorb that as a sponge. But then you always have a vision. There's a certain aesthetic that we work with. Everyone have their own touch to it, and it's to have that conversation very freely with the client. And if they agree, it's good. If not, then there are clients who say that I'm not ready for it at this point of my life, but maybe after 20 years I want to go get to that situation, and that's perfectly fine.
Right.
So the idea is to have that very very free conversation and be open to the client and us. So, and that's how we pick our projects accordingly.
Got you. I got your points, Chinmay and Diptashi. Now I would like to throw to you a general question that both of you could answer. So, as creative individuals, you and me, we all have our ideas, right? So if I'm sitting in a park, I might look at a flower and I might imagine a building, in the shape of the inverted flower, and that would go along. So, all of these wild ideas, they come to you. And since both of you are already in the industry, you already have the restraints of time, you have the restraints of ongoing projects, you also have the restraints of, industrial workload. How do you manage to, polish your creativity or bring out your ideas to life with the
Chinmay,
restraints and the constraints of time and industry and everything that's going on? But you're taking, how do you manage to polish your creativity?
for me, it is always about going back to the roots. So there are a lot of this. Recently, we're kind of working on certain ideas, which is true with Wood Labs Objects, which is a new venture, and we're kind of exploring a lot of terracotta forms. The kullar is what we say. So because I come from West Bengal and we have really thin teacups, which is not common all over India, and that kind of became inspiration for a certain collection of the entire idea. And we have launched with a lot of these dishes and plates, which are really thin, and it's just to play with the form, but it's still in wood. So the ideas, the inspiration can come from anywhere, but for like for example, that was intriguing because both of them works on a spinning thing. Like for a clay thing, you kind of add and you get that shape. For a wood thing, you kind of subtract and you can still get that shape. But it's a turning thing. It's on a wheel, and the terracotta forms have existed since the beginning of mankind, like when there was no technology at all whatsoever. We are in the 21st century and we have all the technology, smartwatches, smartphones. It's still relevant, like even in today's day. So what they did at back then is just express themselves with certain forms, and it's still relevant. And you can still, it need not be too much of a design. It's what it needs to be very simple. There's simplistic form that existed much before we kind of evolve. That's where our roots lie, and you keep on drawing inspiration from them, and that's how you kind of evolve. And
Very nice to hear that. Would Chinmay, how would you like to throw light on your thoughts here?
So basically, when I get some inspiration, yeah, I to get inspiration, basically I go out. So I'm in Mumbai, and if you go to some street, also you will get inspiration from everywhere. So I like to travel outside more often because you will get inspiration from outside space. Yeah, you meet different peoples, you meet when I say you meet different peoples, if I change my job, I will change my state. That kind of a person I'm like, I like to travel different places to meet different peoples, different culture, different food style, everything. So if you start exploring those kind of a things, you will get inspiration from a, a small thing. There are many things when you start communicating with the people, yeah, start talking with the people, you will get more ideas from them also, and you will learn more different things from people around you. So uh, when if I have some idea, I have a wonderful mentor. Like you have to get those kind of a mentor who support you a lot. Like if I have any idea, I want to execute those things, my bosses will be like, okay, go ahead, do those things. Like when I have an idea, I will sit with my idea and I will polish those ideas for many days. Like if I want to take some project, I do basic research work. Without research work, I won't do anything.
Okay.
My research work sometimes take 1 month, sometimes take 2 months, but I execute my ideas with my basic research work. So um, and more often I enjoy when it comes to film or photography, I enjoy more of expression, storytelling, that kind of a thing, not like advertising kind of a things. Uh, I don't want to say this, but I like to work with actors more than celebrities. So where we can learn something from them. Like last project I did with Manoj Bajpayee, is one of the wonderful person, not just an actor. He's a wonderful person too. So if I have some idea, I sit with that idea and I will try to implement those ideas. Not just like first एक दो idea आ गया मैं उसको execute करना चाहता हूँ, ऐसे नहीं है. I will sit with my idea and I will think a lot, because first second thoughts is like it comes to everyone. You have to think about third and fourth thoughts. Like when you have some idea, you have to give more and more time.
needs to
You can
marinate.
develop those ideas. So, yeah.
Yeah, but don't you
And
think that the first idea is always the best idea that you have?
I don't
sometimes
think
I don't
so.
know. I don't
Yeah,
think so.
it needs to brew with time and kind of, because sometimes it's too random. But first idea is what stays. It just gets a
Right.
better version of itself.
Right.
Implementation.
You can always
Yeah,
brew
yeah,
the soup, you can refine the taste, but the first idea is like the basic components, basic
yeah. And then you
ingredients
work
of it.
on it and
Basic
kind of,
foundation kind of a thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then time kind of plays its own magic on it. So
And
That's really
when
nice.
it comes to first and second ideas, वो सबके mind में it's a first thought. So if you want to think more, then that's your idea, I guess.
But then again, it's very subjective. Nothing is your first idea because that must have came out from something else that you have been thinking. Like your life has not just started today.
Right.
So it's always a continuous idea, right? Like never came out of nowhere. You can't think one day, oh, I'll design something. So that's not going to happen. No, it's just a continuous process, and it's actually a brewing process. So you're working on something, and that kind of evolves. Like how you worked on in your college projects, and that was something else. But then what I'm here, there needs to be some grounding to that, right? Like something led me to this place today. So that's how it works. No, never a first idea.
And sometimes you can't do anything because if you're working with the clients and everything, they sometimes they really want what they want. You
Yeah.
can't put your ideas into that, so it's industry standards, I could say, I think.
I would like to join in here, and I would like to ask, since you're talking about the industry and how you're dealing with the client and about the ideas and how you research a lot and how you're working with wood here. So, what is your part that you'd like to give to the budding designers in the country or in the college or wherever people, whoever is joining from around the world here? How would you like to, extend your learnings towards the budding designers? We can take a moment.
So,
Yeah.
good
Like
question.
for, for me, I think what I always say to anyone, like I'm not very old, but anyone to the younger generation is that just be open to experiences. That's it. And that's gonna help you. If you're very comfortable that, oh, I have to be this thing and that kind of, you have to be an interior designer and that defines doing certain job. Don't be that way. Like it can be anything. Like for example, just be open to experience. And like for him, he started with engineering and he's into movies and advertising and whatnot. So just be
Exactly.
open to experiences, and life leads its own path. Don't be very focused. Be
Okay.
focused, but don't be no
Yeah. She got a
blinders
Says
good
on.
point. Like,
Yeah, don't be with the
don't
blinders
restrict
on.
inside the box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, don't be with the blinders on. Know your kind of goal and work towards it.
So
Okay. Thank you.
when you say that point, when it comes to directors or a photographer, you don't look at one particular thing. There is a fashion involved in it. There's a jewelry involved in it. There's an interior space involved in it. And you have to explore different things. Don't restrict yourself to one particular thing. Oh, I'm a jewelry designer. I only do this kind of a design. Say, I'm a fashion designer. Oh, I only do fashion. So explore. This is a time, you are in a college, and this is the best time to explore things. After once you enter the industry, you can't, explore that much because you won't get a time. You will be, restricted to some work kind of a thing. Yeah, you will be always busy with your works. So this is the best time to explore different things. Yeah, go out and see some things. When it comes to Jaipur, it's one of the best places. Wherever you go, you will get inspiration outside. So I think yeah, that's a point. So don't restrict yourself inside a box. Just go out and spend
Yeah, I think that
spend
even
some time
after
with the people.
college, like whatever profession you're getting offered at, just take it up. It's okay. Just take it up. It's an opportunity. Life is going to teach you something, and you're going to be in a certain place at the end of the day. So that's okay. Be it college or
We're
out.
getting really good insights from both of you, and I am sure that people here in the chat box and who is watching must be very curious too. Let's give them I would like all of them who's watching, viewing, they can write their question in the comment box. And I think Chinmay and Diptashi would be more than happy to attend to those. Would you?
So
Yes, definitely. We'd love to answer.
Diptashi, which year are you from?
I was the first batch of the Adexel program, so 2013 to 2017.
Okay,
So not
because
very old.
I have personally met Mr. Chinmay, but I haven't seen you in the campus. So you were a very new face, and
Okay.
which is also
I passed out
interesting.
by 2017. When did you join?
I think I joined 2019,
So 2 years later.
2 years later, right?
So
And now you're
2019
already
was I am
here.
figuring out my life.
Oh, okay. You figuring it out after you came out of college, right?
Yeah, of course, no, like that's how it
Like we're
happened.
figuring it out
Yeah,
at every moment.
yeah.
If not for wood, what substance would you use if you were not using wood, looking at the current scenario and the current
So
waste and the
this is
development and
a
the
debate
procurement?
that kind of have existed forever. And what I see, there are other alternative also, but they also are pollutant at the end of the day, right?
Okay.
Wood, what we use is all a demolition timber. So right now, we get a lot of good teak from the houses that have been demolished in southern part of India. So they're really good teak there, and we only use that. So it's kind of a reclamation that we work on. If you say something else, for example, plastic, I'm totally against it because it's going to stay forever and it is a pollution while making it. Might as well wood is a less of a pollution because I'm creating any fumes while creating the product, right? You're making something from the existed wooden plant, and if you don't use they're going to just burn it off.
Mm-hmm.
Might use it and give it a second, third, fourth, I don't know what number of life. But the kind of wood which we use are at least 90 to 100 years old, and they must have used a much older one. So it's kind of preserving those. It's a good wood. Why waste it? And like for
Okay.
example, you can do something in metal as well. Like we really want to explore metal, but saying that it's not eco-friendly. Also, nothing is eco-friendly. Just need to use it more judicious. Yeah, like saying that when you're working with anything, it needs to be more sleeker design. It can be an old school approach for the design concept, but
Okay.
you need to know how much material you're using in a product, and if I'm using that much of a material, is it really worth making that product? If it is not necessary, I might not use that much of it. I might just make it thinner. Go for thinner profiles, make it have a more judicious input to your material, and that's how it can be more ecological and economical, both ways.
Right, exactly. Thank you, Deeptashree. We look to the question now here. Can you share some insiders from the advertisement industry as a photographer during this pandemic time?
When it comes to advertising industry, it's affecting a lot because it's all about going to site a real location and shooting over there. So no, when I say it's affecting, it's not affecting that much also because now these days everybody is sitting in home and we all are using online platforms. So every brand is pitching for advertising some small at least kind of a photo shoots, if not a film, at least a photo shoot and that kind of a thing. So right now industry approach towards advertising is more and we are getting a lot of good projects with good clients too, so it's not affecting that much, but we have to take too much care about when we're going out and shooting with some different peoples, because when it comes to advertising shoots or something, you will have a big team, not like a one or two people's team. So something like uh, taking care of this COVID situation and everything, it's going well. It's not like affected a lot, that kind of a thing, but yeah, it's affected a little bit. So every industry affected due to this COVID thing. But it's good, yeah. It's not like you don't have any project or that kind of a thing. We are getting a quite good project also. So industries right now, advertising industry is moving so fast that every people who is working in advertising industry has some kind of a work. So yes, it's a good opportunity too.
To explore, right?
So yeah.
That's great. I would like to wrap this session up because of the time limits. It was worthwhile talking to both of you. It was really nice to, learn and get to know about your intimacies with design. Definitely, we're going to inculcate and incorporate whatever I personally am going to inculcate and incorporate whatever I heard today here, whatever I found that would, help me with my journey in design. So I would like to end the session. I don't think
Cool.
we
Wish
have
you
any.
all the best and thank you so
All
much
the best
for
and have a beautiful life, both of you ahead. Happy 2022. Mostly this year will be more exciting than
all the
the.
best and be safe.
Yeah.
I think be safe now.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining in.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool. Bye bye. Thank you.